34 lessons I learned in the last 34 years of living, and number 23 is the one that changed my life. Number one, your life partner will be the best and most important decision of your life. You see, my decision to marry Jessica was the best decision of my life. It's because of her that I've been able to achieve what I've been able to achieve. Whenever I'm feeling down, she's the one that picks me up. Whenever my head gets too big, she's the one that brings me down to earth. She's the person I spend the most time with and the person with the biggest influence in my life. So whoever you choose to be your life partner, make sure it's the right person. Lesson number two. Relationships are just as much as they're made than they are found. It's about cultivating because there's no such thing as a long-term relationship if it's not mutually beneficial. Hey Toby, nice to meet you. I heard a lot of great things about you. Lesson number three, when you meet someone new, always figure out how you can add value to them first. Lesson number four, if you help enough people reach their goals, they will help you accomplish yours. And this is simply put because look, if you're able to help 100 people get a job, they're going to be willing to tell 100 other people about your services, which means you'll get an additional 100 clients, which means you'll be successful. If you help people, if you're selfless first and you deposit first, it will come back to you tenfold. Lesson number five, your network is your net worth. Show me the people that you hang out with the most, and I'll show you who you'll become in the future. In such a competitive market, visibility is more important than ability. This is particularly true when you're looking for a job or when you're starting a business. Because if people don't know who you are, they're not able to buy you or hire you. Lesson number seven, if you make everything a priority, nothing's a priority. That was a big lesson for me to do because I'm super ambitious and I wanted to do everything all in 1 year, all in 3 months. But when I stopped doing that and started focusing on only 3 things a quarter, that's when I started seeing real success. Lesson number 8, all about creating a morning routine. Look, if you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the day, you win the week. If you win the week, you win the month. You get the point. All starts in the morning. So having a solid morning routine is going to allow you to have a lot of productivity and reach your goals. Number 9, make your health a priority. I understand that you might be very ambitious and you want to have a successful career, but you only have one body. And if you're not taking care of it, you're going to get tired, you're going to get sluggish, and it's going to affect your performance. Traveling is the best teacher. Nothing's going to replace you getting to know different places, different cultures, maybe to understand people, because people is the key. The 11th lesson is make time for the people you love. And this is something that I actually learned for traveling, especially in America. When we prioritize work, we forget to make time for the people we love. And we try to justify that because we want to work to be able to provide for the people we love. But the reality is that we can work so hard to build this castle that when the castle is done, no one is there to enjoy it. So make time for the people you love from the beginning. Number 12, you are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit, which takes us to point number 12. We are the sum of our habits. You want to know what you're going to look like 5 years from now? Look at the habits that you have today. Lucky number 13. You know the best way to reach any goal? That's to learn from someone who's done it. Why? Because they've already walked through the journey. They know the obstacles, the bottlenecks that you're going to make. So instead of you having to go through those same challenges yourself, if you learn from someone who's done it, it's going to be one of life's biggest shortcuts. Lesson 14, spend less than what you make. And this is not just so that you can avoid drinking Starbucks, but it's about the freedom that you get when you know you have savings in the bank account and the bigger the risk that you can take in your career and in your business. Which takes us to number 15, save 10% of what you make. So not only less, but 10%. And if you can get in the habit of saving every 10% of every dollar that you make, in the long term, that will compound to massive financial freedom that will allow you to live the life of your dreams. You know what will give you a better investment than the stock market or any real estate property? Number 16, an investment in yourself will pay the best dividend. And that is not a quote by me, that is a quote by Benjamin Franklin. It essentially says you should be investing in your skills because if you can grow your skills, you can grow your earning potential. Which takes us to number 17. Don't let school get in the way of your education. Don't feel like school or college is the only way to learn the skills needed to be successful. There's so many ways that you can learn, like traveling, books, and mentors that will allow you to learn the skills needed to be successful in your life and in your career. Number 18, everyone is in sales. So you might as well get good at it. Because even though you might not have the sales title, you have to sell yourself, and you always have to sell your ideas. If not, you're not going to get anybody or persuade them to do what you want them to do, which means you're not going to be able to get as far as you should. So you might as well learn the art of selling and get good at it. Number 19, if you win the morning, you win the day. And I know this goes along with that advice about having a morning routine, but this is on top of that, because even though when you're done with your morning routine and you get to work, the key here is to eat that frog, to do the hardest thing first, so that for the rest of your day, anything that comes to you is going to be easy. Oh, hey, number 20, reading is one of life's biggest shortcuts. You see, it takes a really good author 10 to 20 years to write a really good book. And if you think about that, that is 20 years of lessons, mistakes, things that you can learn in 45 hours because he decided to write his best advice all in 200 pages. There's not a lot of things that you can put $20 to $30 in that will give you as much lessons than reading a book. Number 21, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Think about it, right? The harder it is to do something, the more is rewarded by society. Things that are easy are not appreciated. Easy come, easy go. The same thing goes with your business and your career. So instead of being intimidated by the challenge, just know that the harder it is, the more rewarding it would be. 22, having self-awareness is key. EQ over IQ. You see, this is especially true as more technology comes, because if we have more AI tools, IQ becomes less important. The ability to have self-awareness and have good relationship with people is what's going to set you apart in 2024 and beyond. Number 23, stop trading your time for money and start trading your time for value. You see, if you continue to trade your time for money, you're going to be the biggest bottleneck to your success. You only have 24 hours a day, and that won't change unless you stop trading your time for money and start trading your time for value. If you're doing something worth doing, then you're gonna fail. And when you're gonna fail, you're gonna have self-doubt about you. Having a place in your notes where you can reflect back when you're feeling at your highest, so you can reflect back on what people have told you that you made them feel. And you can reflect back at how you felt when you were winning. Because without a doubt, you're gonna fail and you're gonna feel like you can't do this anymore. But reading your gratitude journal will be one of the easiest ways that you can get out of that funk and get back to winning. A mentor of mine, Dr. Jeanette Winters, once shared a lesson with me that I never forgot. That every time on Friday before she left the office, she would leave her desk extremely organized. And she told me, Daniel, if I don't keep this organized, my head won't be organized. And that really resonated with me, because I do remember that anytime that my office was a mess, my mindset was a mess. But when my physical self were organized, then my mental head was organized. And that made all the difference. Number 26, if you're not failing, you're not trying. Show me some of the most successful people in the world. In fact, show me anybody who's done anything great, and I'll show you the biggest failures. You see, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player in the world, but do you know that he's also the one that missed the most shots? There's no coincidence. The people that fail the most are the people that succeed the most. So if you're not failing, you're not trying. Number 27, it's really important that you listen carefully who is influencing your decisions. Just like you shouldn't take advice about money from someone who's poor, or you shouldn't take health advice from somebody who's overweight. Who you listen to is just as important to what they're saying. Have you ever thought about the fact that you are $1 million brand? Look, here's the reality. If you make $50,000 a year for 20 years, you've made $1 million, which means you're $1 million brand, which is what I'm trying to give you the advice for this lesson is you need to treat yourself like $1 million brand. Next tip is build a board of directors. You see, there's no coincidence of why every large corporation has a set of board of directors. They get a list of advisors for every major area of their business that can go and get perspective and strategy from them. But just like that, you should do the same. You should have a board of directors for maybe relationships, fitness, business, career, hobbies. Going back to a very big theme of today's video, the best way to reach any goal is to learn from someone who's done it. When you can surround yourself with a group of individuals who are really good at one particular area of your life, then you can have a very prosperous life.
Number 30th, who you're with is more important than where you're at. And I think this is a lesson that took me a lot of traveling to identify it, because I used to think that the location, whether it was going to Italy, going to France, going to Colombia, going on a cruise, going to the Bahamas, what's what made that vacation or what made that experience. But after all that, I realized it's actually not the destination as it is the people that you're sharing those memories with. And I think it's important to understand that don't overvalue where you're going, overvalue who you're with.
Tip number 31. We either learn or we win, but we never lose. You see, even when you lose, even when you fail, as long as you're learning something from it and allow you to never make the mistake again, then you actually win. You see, life is a video game full of challenges. And it's important to understand that as long as you really are not dying, you're not really losing, as long as you're learning. Number 32, there's no such thing as a long-term relationship if it's not mutually beneficial. You see, this even applies to your family. Your mother, your father, who loves you the most, if you're not able to provide some joy or support or wanted to add value back, they won't be in your life long term. And this is even more true when you come with meeting with strangers. So remember, going back to some of the earlier thoughts, it's all about how you add value to others and making sure it is mutually beneficial if you want a long-term relationship with them. And that's the key. Number 33, dream big is good, but it doesn't matter if you don't execute smart. And that is why dreaming big and executing smart is important. There's no such thing as you dreaming big without doing the work that's required for you to accomplish that dream and making it into a reality. And the final lesson, lesson number 34, get a dog. You see, getting a dog was one of the best things I ever did for many reasons. Number one, you learn what true loyalty really is. Number two, they force you to be active. And number three, they show you what true joy is. So if you can, get yourself a dog. Now look, I understand that this 34 lessons are easier heard than done. And in fact, as someone that's giving you this lesson, as someone that I always need to relearn these lessons over and over and over again. Because at different stages of my life, these lessons have played an important role. And I'm not here to tell you that I am perfect or that if you even execute one of them will be successful. You need to execute a lot of this. And you're gonna see that a lot of these lessons have a lot of common themes: relationships, loyalty, dreaming big, execute smart. It's all about the people that you surround yourself with. Because look, at the end of the day, time is the most valuable resource in the world. And a lot of these lessons is about how you allocate this time so that you can leverage it to accomplish some amazing goals. So I truly hope that you enjoy this video and that you learn from some of my mistakes. And if you have any other lessons that you think we should have included in this list for our 31st, or when we do this for 35 lessons, put it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.